Alright, I got my water ready. Let's do this, I guess. Alright, there we go. The way that I'm actually. I appreciate you, Zav. Welcome to the stream. Oh, this is gonna be dumb. It's gonna be dumb, but it's gonna be great. Welcome to the stream, Zav. Make yourself at home. I'm unironically gonna be reading the Bible, but at the very least, I'm going to be making stupid jokes while I do it. So you'll get some a modicum of entertainment. Oh, that's great. I'm ready to pray, bro. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to hear. Actually, hold on. I think I could fix. I can change something up here. Oh, oh, there we go. Uh, hold on. Oh, sorry. Your alert probably didn't go through. I've been meaning to put in add in the alert box with like starting soon and stuff. And right there, along with chat box. Whoop, right over here. And finally, follower goal, which should be right here. There we go. Sorry about that, Zav. I, I, I hate that the notification didn't go through, but eh, we're learning, and that's all that matters. Hey, hey. I I said I'm learning. Okay, there we go. It's not unprofessionalism. I still said I'm learning. Well, anyway, I guess we could start, right? Yeah, I feel that. Okay, put that right here. Anyway, let me get this started. Close this here. Shut that off. And okay, why? Okay, why is it not capturing my window? You were just working a second ago. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. Yeah, Bible. It's Bible time. You ready, Zav? You ready for you ready to read the holy word? Um, to be no no no. To be fair, you didn't miss much. Actually, I should probably fix the chat box that way people can see it better. Okay. Uh, I don't think there's. I don't think you really need to. I don't think you really need spoilers for the Bible. I feel like if you got a monicum of knowledge, you'll kind of figure it out. So don't worry. I mean, Don't worry at all. Um, as for the recap, simply put, we're now currently in Genesis. Adam and Eve got kicked out of the Garden of Eden. We met Cain and Abel, and Cain proceeded to disable Abel. And right now, I think we're currently in the Noah arc, or we just finished the Noah arc. Now I think we're at the start of the Abraham arc, so that's probably gonna be fun. Also, let me know if there's any sort of lag because I'm seeing some drops in frame rate and stuff. Okay, where was I? I think we're at Genesis. Acting like I actually know who any of these characters were. Okay, okay, a couple of frame drops. No, Sapphire asks a good question. Why? And my response is, why not? Why not? Listen, other people get their starts off in streaming different ways. Some play leagues. Some make art. Some of them stream themselves doing their daily lives. I'm gonna get famous by unironically reading the Bible. Also, yeah, I still need to fix that chat box. I don't know why it just kind of refuses to not go to like gray or anything, but whatever. Official settings, font settings, or actually, I could just change the font. Change the color of the font. Okay, try talking now. I want to see if this works. Oh, hold on. All right, I'm back. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm back. Do 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 do. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Okay. Of course I'm gonna skip over how to read the Bible tutorial. These type of things you can kind of just figure out as you're going. So it's whatever. Like what? I'm really gonna get absolutely demolished by whatever the Bible throws at me because I forgot to read the tutorial. Don't be ridiculous, Av. they're just, I am just absolutely dropping frames like a madman. And I don't know why. Program. There's a reason why at the bottom it has 100% any percent. I like these are speedrun strats, Zav. These are legit speedrun strats that I'm going to use to just burn through the Bible. Not burn the Bible, burn through it. I need to click on this, click on this, and there we go. All right, all right. Enough messing around. We're like 16 minutes into the stream, and I have not read a single Bible verse yet. So, who is ready for Bible time? Chap- God covenants with Abram, chapter 15, verse 1. After these events, the Lord's word came to Abram in a vision. Don't be afraid, Abram. I am your protector. Your reward will be very great. But Abram says, Lord God, what can you possibly give me since I still have no children? The head of my household is Eliezer, a man from Damascus. He continued, since you haven't given me any children, the head of my household will be my heir. Another another thing to point out if you didn't watch the previous stream is that all these people are around like 300, 400, 500 years old. For for some reason in the Old Testament, people just casually lived to be the ripe old age of 900. Pastor Austin once dropped the fact that basically because of rain, our life expectancies are significantly shorter. Something involving like testing lab rats like in environments without rain and testing people with rain. I don't know. I just know that people are making babies at the age of 300. Like if you're 100 in if you're 100 back in the Old Testament, back in Genesis days, you're considered practically a child. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not like that, but you're just considered crazy young. Like, oh, it's like, oh, how old are you? Like, are how old are you, Bethleba? Oh, I'm. Oh, it's like, oh, Bethleba finally got to 150. It's like, just wait till you get to my age at 300. Then it really starts. Then you really start feeling the years. It's surreal sometimes, just absolutely surreal. Moving on. The Lord's word came immediately to him. This man will not be your heir. Your heir will definitely be your very own biological child. Then he brought Abram outside and said, Look up at the sky and count the stars if you think you can count them. He continued, This is how many children you have. Abram just looks at God and says, Hey, God, not to be a spoiled sport, but I don't think Sarah's cooch can handle that. I think she's probably gonna be one of those one and done type of mothers. Like this many is probably gonna be ridiculous. and then God just has to casually slap him across the head. It's like, no, no, you idiot! I'm being metaphorical, I'm being symbolic. Your name will be passed on for generations, and you'll have like multiple children. Like, what is it with like with my creations and not understanding the concept of metaphors and analogies? Yeah, me, just me, dang it. Uh, um, Abraham trusted the Lord, and the Lord recognized Abram's high moral character. He said to Abram, I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land as your possession. But Abram said, Lord God, how do I know that I will actually possess it? He said, Bring me a 3-year-old female calf, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a dove, and a young pigeon. He took all of these animals, split them in half, and laid the halves facing each other, but he didn't split the birds. When vultures swooped down on the carcasses, Abram waved them off. After the sun set, Abram slept deeply. A terrifying and deep darkness settled over him. But then the Lord said to Abram, Have no doubts that your descendants will live as immigrants in a land that isn't their own, where they will be oppressed slaves for 400 years. But after I punish the nation they serve, they will leave it with great wealth. As for you, you will join your ancestors in peace and will be buried after a good long life. The fourth generation will return here since the Amorites' wrongdoing won't have reached its peak till then. So this is where you get to the part, like in the part in the Bible where it kind of talks about talks about Israel, and you start to understand why people are very either pro or anti-Israel. But we will get to more in that in a later time because I really am not in the mood for that. This man really said your kids are gonna be slaves for 400 years. Sorry. Yeah, God tends to do that a lot. All right, like God tends to kind of sit you down and go, all right, here's the situation. You're gonna be dealt a very, very rough hand. And people go, why? And he goes, because you need to learn a lesson. But, after it's all over with, you're gonna have a really, really great time. After this, after the sun had set and darkness had deepened, a smoking vessel with fiery flame passed between the open split animals. That day the Lord cut a covenant with Abram. To your descendants I give this land, from Egypt's river to the great Euphrates, together with the Canaanites, the Kenizzites, and the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. Oh man, if there's one thing I am definitely not fond of in the Bible, it is these just it's just these sometimes very, very hard to pronounce Hebrew names. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you and the rest of chat and whoever watches the VODs that if you didn't watch the previous stream, be warned. I'm going to absolutely butcher, just butcher the heck out of these words and names and tribes, just all of this because it I like it is I have to do things with my mouth to try to pronounce them in ways I didn't know I had to. Such is life. Okay, moving on. Where is it? There it is. Hagar and the Ishmaelites' origins. Sarai, Abram's wife, had not been able to have children, Since he had had an Egyptian servant named Hagar, Sarai said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from giving birth, so go to my servant. Maybe she'll provide me with children." Like Abram did just as Sarai said. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this passage. I literally did a degree in archaeology. Mispronouncing weird place names is my biggest skill. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of your skills, Av. I would kill to be able to pronounce these terrible these they're not terrible. These hard to pronounce names. What's wrong with me? Mm. All right, let's do this. Oh, it's like what was I about to say? Oh yeah, Sarai approving of cuckoldry for just this once, just this once, just this once. Sarai is like, okay, Abram, I need you to cuck me because I really want a child, or like God promised a child, but like, look at me. I doubt this orchard is gonna bear any fruit. So I need you to go to my servant Hagar and do the dirty with her. Can you do that? And Abram just says, "Yes, of course I will." And then goes and does it. The Bible, folks. The Bible. After Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, Abram's wife Sarai took her Egyptian servant Hagar and gave her to her husband, Abram, as his wife. He slept with Hagar and she became pregnant. But once he realized that she was pregnant, she no longer respected her mistress. Sarai said to Abram, "This harassment is your fault. I allowed you to embrace my servant, but once he realized he was pregnant, I lost her respect. Let the Lord decide who is right, you or me." Woman! Woman, you were the one who signed off on this plan in the first place. Don't be surprised and mad when your servant goes, hey mistress, I'm pregnant now with your husband's kid. Fuck you." Granted, this might be a slight mistranslation. I'm reading from the Common English Bible. I could, like, the King James version or like the other versions might have it said differently, but for now, this is the situation, which is very interesting. Anyway, uh, Abram said to Sarai, "Since he's your servant, do whatever you wish. Just do whatever you want." Like Sarah is just like, Abram, you slept you slept with my like Abram, you slept with my servant, which Abram would respond with, which was your idea, and now my servant hates me, which is not surprising. Like, I don't know what to do with her. I know what to do with her. Like, decide. It's either decide who is in the right here, you or me. It's like you for trusting that God is probably gonna provide us a child, or me, the wife who approved cuckoldry. To which, to which I appreciate Abram just kind of going, "You know what? Do whatever you want. Just do whatever you desire. I have no stakes in this race. I did my job. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Tend to like check up on my sheep and cattle. I just you figure it out." So Sarai treated her harshly, and she ran away from Sarai. This poor girl. Oh, Hagar, you poor woman. I feel bad for you. I genuinely feel bad for you. Mm. The Lord's messenger found Hagar at a spring in the desert, the spring on the road to Shur, and said, Hagar, Sarai's servant, where did you come from and where are you going? She said, From Sarai, my mistress. I'm getting out of there. I'm running away. The Lord's messenger said to her, Go back to your mistress. Put up with her harsh treatment of you. The Lord's messenger also said to her, I will give you many children, so many they can't be counted. The Lord's messenger said to her, You are now pregnant and will give birth to a son. You will name him Ishmael, because the Lord has heard about your harsh treatment. He will be a wild mule of a man. He will fight everyone and they will fight him. He will live at odds with all of his relatives. Oh boy. Oh boy. So let's discuss this wombo combo of a life of a hand Hagar has just been dealt. So imagine being like this Egyptian servant. You got out of Egypt with your mistress and her husband. It's a pretty decent life. You kind of do what you're asked and like no complaints. And your mistress walks up to you one day and says, "Hey, I need you to fuck my husband. I need you to fuck my husband, please." And you go, "Okay." And you do so. And you get pregnant. And instead of, I don't know, helping you taking care of your child or anything, kind of being put on a pedestal in some way, shape, or form, you your mistress just starts absolutely berating you, just absolutely like giving you the business, just giving you the 100% business. So you go, I'm not dealing with this. I'm out. I'm tapping out now. And so you tap out and you run away. And when you're running away, like a messenger sent by God says, "Okay, okay, honey, I know it's bad, but I need you to go back and deal with it for longer. I need you to deal with it longer." It's like, and you go, "Huh?" And the messenger goes, "Listen, you're gonna have to just deal with it, but it's gonna be okay. Your children are gonna like be multitudes over. It's gonna be great." And you go, "Oh, I mean, I guess that's fine." And then the Lord's messenger says, "Okay, but here's also another caveat. You got to name your son Ishmael, and he's gonna be a bit of a dick. He's gonna be a bit of a dick, and he's gonna like pick fights with a lot of other people. You're just gonna have to deal with that too." It's By the way, how's my stream? Is it still like lagging? Like I'm seeing notifications about my frames dropping, so I may need to lower the bitrate or something. If not, then if it's still alright, I can still keep going then. It's not lagged for me. All right, cool beans. Let's continue. Let's continue on with me low key trying to stand Hagar because this girl's had a bad life right now. She is not having the best of luck right now. Hagar named the Lord who spoke to her, "You are Elroy, Elroy, Elroy," because he said, "Can I still see after he saw me?" Therefore, that well is called Bir Lahiroi. It's the well between Kadesh and Bered. Hagar gave birth to a son for Abram, and Abram named him Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar gave birth to Ishmael for Abram. Could you imagine if your grandpa just kind of your grandpa like approached you and said, "Oh hey, you have an uncle now." What would you do if your grandpa basically said you now have a new uncle, and that uncle is younger than you? That would feel weird, right? Like that's not just me. You have an uncle younger than you? Maybe it's not weird for everyone, but it's just I don't know, it's weird for me, I guess. God's covenant with Abraham. Oh man. He leveled up. He's no longer Abram, he's now Abraham. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "I am El Shaddai. Walk with me and be trustworthy. I will make a covenant between us, and I will give you many, many descendants." Abram fell on his face, and God said to him, "But me, my covenant is with you. You will be the ancestor of many nations, and because I have made you the ancestor of many nations, your name will no longer be Abram, but Abraham. I will make you very fertile. I will produce nations from you, and kings will come from you. I will set up my covenant with you and your descendants after you in every generation as an enduring covenant. I will be your God and your descendants' God after you. I will give you and your descendants the land in which you are immigrants, the whole land of Canaan, as an enduring possession, and I will be their God." God said to Abraham, "As for you, you must keep my covenant, you and your descendants in every generation. This is my covenant that you and your descendants must keep. Circumcise every male." Oh no, we got to the part. We got to the part where God said, give me that foreskin. Your foreskin your foreskin handed over. It's real circumcision hours. Oh boy. Mm, mm. You must circumcise the flesh of your foreskins, and it will be a symbol of the covenant between us. On the 8th day after birth, every male in every generation must be circumcised, including those who are not your own children, those born in your household, and those purchased with silver from foreigners. Just gotta cut them off. Cut them off. Just take that thing and just throw it over there. Those born in your household and those okay. Be sure you circumcise those born in your household and those purchased with your silver. Your flesh will embody my covenant as an enduring covenant. Any uncircumcised male whose flesh of his foreskins remains uncircumcised will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. If you are uncut, get out. God said God said, "If you got that hood, get out of my neighborhood." God said to Abraham, "As for your wife Sarai, you will no longer call her Sarai. Her name will now be Sarah. I will bless her and even give you a son from her, like I said. I will bless her so that she will become nations and kings of people who come from her." Abraham fell on his face and laughed. He said to himself, "Dude, I'm 100 years old, man. Like I'm 100 years old, and Sarah is getting to 90." How in the heck are we gonna have a kid? To God, Abraham said, if only you would accept Ishmael. Yeah. But God said, no. I, I can't stress this enough. You can't cheat me out of this. You can't try to find a loophole in what I said. You're gonna have a kid with Sarah. He's gonna like you're gonna be the forefather for a lot of nations, and there's nothing more to it. But God, but, but God said, but God said, no, your wife Sarah will give birth to a son for you, and you will name him Isaac. I will set up my covenant with him and with his descendants after him as an enduring covenant. As for Ishmael, I've heard your request. I will bless him and make him fertile and give him many, many descendants. He will be the ancestor of 12 tribal leaders, and I will make a great nation of him. But I will set up my covenant with Isaac, who will be born to Sarah at this time next year. God finished speaking to him. God ascended, leaving Abraham alone. Abraham took his son Ishmael, all those born in his household, and all those purchased with silver, that is, every male in the Abraham household, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskins that same day, just as God told him to do. Abraham was 99 years old when he circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, and his son Ishmael was 13 years old when the flesh of his foreskin was circumcised. That same day, Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised, all the men from his household, those born in his household, and those purchased from silver with foreigners, were circumcised with him. Ooh, just big oof on that one. No, God says no exceptions. Get that skin off of there. Get it off. Oh man. Be be like be be me be me Egyptian slave. Life pretty good. Just tend to the sheep, make sure everyone's well fed and well clothed. Life pretty alright. One, one day, one day, your one day, other servant runs up to you. What the fuck, dot JPEG? What the fuck, dot JPEG? He said, he said your master's going around and cutting off people's dicks. You go what? He's saying, like he says, you gotta go and do it too. Uh, yeah, it would. Yeah, like, bro, fuck mandatory penis inspection day. It's mandatory circumcision day in Abraham's household. Moving on to the next chapter. Isaac's birth announced. The Lord appeared to Abraham at the oaks of Mamre, while he sat at the entrance of his tent in the day's heat. He looked up and suddenly saw three men standing near him. As soon as he saw them, he ran from his tent entrance to greet them and bowed deeply. He said, Sirs, if you would be so kind, don't just pass by your servant. Let the water be brought to you, so you may wash your feet and refresh yourselves under the tree. Let me offer you a little bread so that you will feel stronger. After that, you may leave your servant and go on your way, since you have visited your servant. They responded, Fine, just do just as you have said. So Abraham hurried Sarah at his tent and said, Hurry, knead those three shias of the finest flour and make some baked goods. Woman, woman, there are three strangers outside that door. I need that bread now. Abraham ran to the cattle, took a healthy young calf, and gave it to a young servant, who prepared it quickly. Then Abraham took butter, milk, and the calf that had been prepared, put the food in front of them, and stood under the tree near them as they ate. They said to him, Where is your wife Sarah? He said, Right here in the tent. Then one of the men said, I will definitely return to you about this time next year. Then your wife Sarah will have a son. Sarah was listening at the tent door behind them. Now Abraham and Sarah were both very old. Sarah was no longer menstruating. Like, that well dried up years ago. So Sarah laughed to herself, thinking, I'm no longer able to have children and my husband's old. Like that well, yeah, that well dried up years ago, guys. I don't think anything's gonna happen. The Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Me give birth at my age'? Is anything too difficult for the Lord? When I return to you about this time next year, Sarah will have a son." Sarah lied and said, "I didn't laugh because she was frightened." Yeah, imagine, imagine laughing at God. Like, dude, if God said this is gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen. But he said, "No, no, you laughed." To which, again, it's like, did you really just try to lie to God? Did you think you could pull a fast one on the Lord? The men got up from there and went over to look down on Sodom. Abraham was walking along with them to send them off. When the Lord said, "Will I keep from Abraham what am I about to do? Abraham will certainly become a populous nation, and all of the earth's nations will be blessed because of him. I have formed a relationship with him so that he will instruct his children and his household after him, and they will keep to the Lord's path, being moral and just so that the Lord can do for Abraham everything he said he would." Then the Lord said, "The cries of injustice from Sodom and Gomorrah are countless, and their sins very serious. I will go down there to examine the cries of injustice that have reached me. Have they done all of this? If not, I want to know." You know what I just realized? So I have this stream labeled under the Bible game, when in reality, I could probably just set the stream to, like, set the stream underneath, like, the podcast category or the just chatting category. Hindsight 2020. All right, you know what? You know what? My my regularly my schedule says that I don't start till 8, or I didn't start till noon. So I'm going to pause this stream, fix any problem. Me and the boys just chatting about the Bible, you know. Yeah. All right. So like, hold off for a second, Zaf. I'm going to end this stream and move this, or I'm gonna try to move this category or place over, because like, yeah. All right. Actually, I don't think I need to end the stream. So just hold on. Uh, yeah, yeah. I was about to say I don't have to end it. I'm just being stupid. Uh, should I label this under podcasts, talk shows and podcasts, or should I label this under like just chatting? That's probably could do just chatting. Just chatting. All right, there we go. Fix it. I am now just chatting about the Bible. Uh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. Anyway, more Bible, more Bible time.
What up?
Hey there. All right, there we go. So,
Stream over
uh,
here in the echo. What's up?
not much. Do you are you gonna be watching the Twitch or do you want me to screen share it?
Yeah, it might be helpful to screen share just so that I don't have like latency.
Yeah, yeah, good point. Hopefully, this doesn't absolutely just kill, kill my stream. But here we go. I dropped.
Yeah, I apologize. It does. You can close it if you need to.
Um, don't, I don't think I see any problems yet, so I think we're
Oh
good for
fuck.
now.
We're on um we're on Sodom and Gomorrah. That's a happy part of the Bible.
It is a very happy part of the Bible.
Yeah.
Mm,
Fun fact about Sodom, it's where you get the word sodomy, which is also a sin.
yeah, yeah. It's it was it's one of the interesting, funny things about the Bible is that
It's very
I unironically got spoiled a little because I was reading through the passages and it was labeling places. It's just like and Nineveh and Sodom and Gomorrah are all cities created under this, and I'm like, oh no, oh no.
yeah. Bible spoilers are the worst, aren't they? Because
Bible
then you just
spoil
figure out
Bible spoil
God kills a lot of people.
Bible spoilers are weird, and it is weird how Bible spoilers exist, but yeah, they're a thing.
Yeah, they do be happening a lot. Uh, I thought you were playing the Bible game at one point. So
I like there was no category for reading the Bible, so I just realized now that I could just label it as just chatting because I'm stupid.
what? What a fucking niche to trailblaze. Nobody read the Bible out here or nothing. So let me get in on that.
Look, I said this at the beginning of the stream and I'll say it again. Many people get their starts in different ways. Some stream and play League and get good of it. Some people do funny stuff on Call of Duty. Some people make art and or cook or
Read,
cosplay. I
read just the
read the
fucking the
Bible.
Bible. Dog, you should watch The Passion of the Christ and just critique it. That'd be fucking based. And then just follow it up with Mel Gibson's anti-Semitic ramblings.
No. My,
Yeah, maybe not that. Might not
my
be okay. How to get banned off Twitch real quick.
oh man, that I managed to create this this huge following, and I immediately get canceled.
The following of all the wrong people. You can move to D Live afterwards. They'll support you.
Oh no, dude! I only know one person. I only know one person in D Live, and that's Seth Zinch, and I have seen his chat, and I don't want any of that.
No, D Live. That's what'll happen when you just need to be toxic as shit.
Anyway, where was I at? Okay, there we go. Yeah. The men turned away and walked towards Sodom, but Abraham remained standing in front of the Lord. Abraham approached and said, "Will you really sweep away the innocent with the guilty? What if there are like 50 innocent people in that city?
Doesn't matter.
Will you really sweep it away and not save
If
the
there's one guilty person, you should fucking murder all of them because they're complicit. That's how sinning works. Complicit fucking bastards. Kill all of them, Rage.
a ASAP? All sodomites are bastards.
Ayo.
ASAP, ASAP, ASAP.
Get him out of here.
Gotta get him out.
I do not understand why you would do that. Therefore, you must die.
It's not
Good
like you to.
Christian mentality.
It's not like you to do this. Killing the innocent with the guilty as if there were no difference. It's not like you. Will the judge of all earth not act justly? The Lord said, "If I find okay, all right, here it is. If there are 50 people, if there is at least 50 people in that city, I won't kill it. I won't obliterate it from the face of the earth. How's that?"
Good old God, just being wholesome and shit. Just like, maybe just fucking die.
Abraham responded, "Since I've already decided to speak with my Lord, even though I am just soil and ash, what if there are 5 fewer innocent people than 50? Will you destroy the whole city over just 5? If I find 45 there, I won't destroy it." Once again, Abraham spoke, "What if 40 are there? For the sake of 40, I will do nothing." He said, "Don't be angry with me, Lord, but just hear me out. What if 30 people are there?" The Lord said, "I won't do it if I find 30 there." Abraham said, "Since I already decided to speak with my Lord, what if 20 people are there?" The Lord said, "I won't do it for the sake of 20." Okay, all right. God, I know I've been reducing it, and don't be mad at me, but just hear me out.
Rage.
What if
Imagine what if God was fucking like Rick from Pawn Stars, and Abraham was just like,
the best, the
all right, how
best,
about
the best
the
I could
best I
do
can
is
do is
10.
20.
Yeah, the best I could do is 10.
All right, guess they're all gonna fucking die then.
What if they're 10? And the Lord said, "I will not destroy it because of those 10." When the Lord finished speaking with Abraham, he left. But Abraham, I would like to imagine, like, as soon as it's just like, "All right, fine. We've gone from 50 to 10. Are you happy?" And it's like, and Abraham goes, "Yeah, I'm happy." Good. And he just walks away. This is Sav in the chat. Look, they didn't hand over their foreskins. They deserve death. Oh, okay. Lot leaves Sodom. The two messengers entered Sodom in the evening. Lot, who was sitting at the gate of Sodom, saw them, got up to greet them, and bowed low. He said, "Hey, come to your servant's house, spend the night, wash your feet, then you can get up early and go on your way." But they said, "No, we will spend the night in the town square." He pleaded earnestly with them, so they went with him and entered his house. He made a big meal for them, even baking unleavened bread, which they ate. Before they went to bed, the men of the city of Sodom, everyone from the youngest to the oldest, surrounded the house and called to Lot, "Where are the men who arrived tonight? Bring them out to us so that we may have sex with them."
Hey yo,
We 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 we, we saw the masses. Let us have them cheeks. Give them.
on the third day, God said, "Spread them MF cheeks." Actually, don't. Sorry, that's the opposite of what God said to do. God said don't. Man said fuck yeah. I keep making you uncomfortable, Rage.
Lot went out towards the entrance, closed the door behind him, and said, "My brothers, please don't do such an evil thing. I got 2 daughters who are virgins. Let me bring them out to you, and you may do with whatever you wish. But please don't do anything to the men that are now under protection of my roof. I will give you my daughters. I will give you all this unplowed soil for you to like go to town on. Just please don't like get my men." And they said, "Get out of the way. We want that man ass." And they continued, "Does this immigrant want to judge us? Now we will hurt you more than we will hurt them." They pushed Lot back and came close to breaking down the door. The men inside reached out and pulled Lot back to the house with them and slammed the door. Then the messengers blinded the men near the entrance of the house, from the youngest to oldest, so that they groped around trying to find the entrance. The men said to Lot, "Who's still with you here? Take away from this place your sons-in-laws, your sons, your daughters, and everyone else you have in the city, because we're about to burn this place to the ground."
Casually, casually. It's casual.
just just like, okay, you tried to be reasonable, and they responded with almost trying to kill you. So you know what? We're done. We saw all we needed to see. We're torching this place.
I mean, salvation doesn't seem like a theme that the Bible would ever tackle, so this seems pretty on brand.
Lot went to speak with to his sons-in-laws, married to his daughters, and said, "Get up and get out of this place." Like, okay, guys, real talk. We need to get out of here. God is about to level this place.
The God, Lord our God is about to pull out the fucking gat and rain down from heaven. Get the fuck out of here. No, I think we're good.
Yeah, but his sons-in-laws thought he was joking. Just
Funny
like
joke.
like
God's gonna obliterate the fucking world.
it's like it's like haha, bro,
Good one, pops.
Lot, dad-in-law, you told some pretty funny jokes, but this is by far your best. Just imagine, imagine, oh, like God just obliterating this place from the face of the earth. Look, if they were already doing bad stuff now, why wouldn't he have torched it earlier, huh?
That's a good question.
When dawn broke, the messengers urged Lot, "Get up and take your wife and your two daughters who are here, so that you are not swept away because of the evil in the city." He hesitated, but because the Lord intended to save him, the men grabbed him, his wife, and his two daughters by the hand, took him out, and left him outside the city. After getting them out, the men said, "Save your lives, don't look back, and don't stay in the valley. Escape to the mountains so that you are not swept away." But Lot said to them, "No, my lords, please. You've done me a favor and have been so kind to save my life, but I can't escape to the mountains since the catastrophe might overtake me there and I'd die. The city here is close enough to flee to, and it's small. It's small, right? Let me escape there. My life will be saved." He said to Lot, "I, I'll do I'll do he said to Lot, "I'll do this for you as well. I won't overthrow the city that you have described. Hurry, escape to it. I can't do anything until you get there." This is why the name of the city is Zor. So basically, it's like, all right, guys, I understand you're trying to save me, but I can't live in the mountains. That'd be
Might as well,
treacherous.
might as well just fucking die, dude. Time to fucking die.
As the sun rose over the earth, Lot arrived in Zor, and the Lord rained down burning asphalt from the cities onto Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord destroyed these cities, the entire valley, everyone who lived there. Just glassed that place. Just absolutely. I'm talking like orbital laser strike on these two cities. Just no one was saved, no one was left. And all of the
Sound like they fucking deserved it, to be honest.
yeah. Lord, and all of the fertile land's vegetation. When the Lot's wife looked back, I don't know why, she turned into a pillar of salt. Abraham set out early for the place where he had stood with the Lord, and looked over Sodom and Gomorrah and over all of the land of the valley. He saw smoke from the land rise like smoke from a kiln. When God destroyed the cities in the valley, God remembered Abraham and sent Lot away from the disaster that overtook the cities in which Lot had lived. Since Lot had become fearful of living in Zor, he and his two daughters headed from Zor and settled in the mountains where he and his two daughters lived in a cave. The older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there are no men in the land to sleep with. Sleep with us, as is custom everywhere. Come on, let's give our father wine to drink, lie down with him, and we will have children from our father." Incest, baby.
Well, come on, cultural relativism, right? Like, when in Sodom.
Who's this? Like who in their right mind talks to your sibling and goes, look. I need to get some dick now, and the only person left is their dad. It's just the Bible, folks. The Bible. That night they served their father wine, and the oldest daughter went in and laid down with her father, without him noticing whence he laid down or got up. The next day the older daughter said to the younger, "Since I laid down with our father last night, let's serve him wine tonight too, and you can go in and lie down with him, so that we will both have children from our father." They served their father wine that night also, and the younger daughter lay down with him, without him knowing when she lay down or got up. Both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter gave birth to a son named Moab. He is the ancestor of today's Moabites. The younger daughter also gave birth to a son and named him Ben Ammi. He is the ancestor of today's Ammonites. I think whoever wrote this was their way of basically saying, haha, it's like, yeah, well, guess what? All of you Moabites are products of incest. Get fucked.
It's basically the Bible equivalent of just saying, don't care, didn't ask. You know, you can just straw man every single people you want to. Really easy just to be like, you know what, fuck you.
It's like yeah, it's basically them going, huh, man. I would love to listen to your point, but
Bible equivalent of a Wojak. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, it's
Fucking soy jack posting in the Bible.
so the Bible is just soy jack posting. I I I do yeah, it's literally a moment of just like, man, I would talk to you more, but you're products of incest, so I don't know what to tell you. You guys are literal father fuckers. I can't hang out with you guys.
Time to get fucked by the soy jack. Fucking, it's a nice argument you had, but um,
It's not.
have you?
It's a nice argument. It's a nice argument you had. But oh, look at this. I wrote in the scripture that your ancestors. The reason why your ancestors are the way they are today is because this one girl slept with her father. So deal with it. Just and
Be
like
like that.
and
Be
then
like that.
the guy's just standing there like, dude, nobody's gonna read your stupid book. Just it's the equivalent of a person making the person making the first soy jack meme to a guy to get back at them, and they were like, haha, very funny, dude, but like that drawing is stupid. No one is ever gonna like look at that. Sorry, yeah, just sorry, yeah, no,
Keep reading, orator.
yeah, no, I'm kind of looking at Discord as well. Just I just appreciate posting in a stake server, and and the first response is just should I even ask? No,
No, you never should ask ever.
no, don't ask about the Bible. Abraham traveled from there towards the land of the arid southern plain, and he settled as an immigrant in Gerar between Kadesh and Shur. Abraham said of his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." So King Abel,
That was a very nice sound, Rich.
I I
So,
hate these names sometimes, man. I
you want me to help you? Sorry.
try it. What we got?
Who? Abimelech.
Abimelech. Thank you.
No problem.
King
Abimelech.
God.
Abimelech. Elimelech. Abimelech.
So King Abu Ghraib of Gerar took her into his household. But God appeared to King Abu Ghabi that night in a dream and said to him, You are as good as dead because of this woman you have taken. She is a married woman." This happened. So the best part is that this happened before, and Abraham didn't learn his lesson. He once took Sarah into Egypt and said, "Hey," which granted, the reasoning is that he said like, look, you're super hot. We're going into Egypt. They're probably gonna kill me and try to bed you. So if I say that you're my sister, then I'm probably gonna get spared. To which the Pharaoh, after realizing that like Sarah is Abraham's like like Sarah is Abraham's wife, just went, "Dude, why did you lie to me? I was trying to bed with a married woman. What is wrong with you? Get out of here."
As one does.
So King Abimelech hadn't gone near her and said, "Lord, will you really put an innocent nation to death? Didn't he say to me, 'She's my sister'? And didn't even she, say he's my brother? My intentions were pure, and I acted innocently when I did this." So yeah, he was just like, how was I supposed to know that like she was his wife? They lied to me. I didn't know anything. So God said to him in the dream, I know that your intentions were pure when you did this. In fact, I kept you from sinning against me. That's why I didn't allow you to touch her. Now return the man's wife. He's a prophet. He will pray for you so you may live, but if you don't return her, I know that you and everyone with you will die. This is not a this isn't a threat. This is a promise. Give her give her back to Abraham or I am going to smite this entire land. Abimelech got up early in the morning and summoned all of his servants. When he told them everything that had happened, the men were terrified. When Abimelech summoned Abraham and said to him, What have you done to us? What sin did I commit against you that you brought this terrible sin to me and my kingdom by doing to me something that simply isn't done? Abimelech said to Abraham, What were you thinking when you did this thing? Abraham said, I thought to myself, no one reveres God here, and they will kill me to get my wife. She is truthfully my she is truthfully my sister, my father's daughter, but not my mother's daughter, and she's not my wife. When God led me away from my father's household, I said to her, This is the loyalty I expect from you. In each place we will visit, tell them he is my brother. Abimelech took flocks, cattle, male servants, and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and Abimelech returned his wife Sarah. Abimelech said, My land is here available to you. Live wherever you wish. I don't care. Please get out of here. To Sarah he said, I've given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It means that neither you nor anyone with you has done anything wrong. Everything has been set right. Abimelech prayed to God, and God restored Abimelech, his wife, and his women servants to health, and they were able to have children. Because of the incident with Abraham's wife Sarah, the Lord had kept all of the women in Abimelech's household from having children. What the fuck?
You know, as the Lord does, he's a big chiller, nice and chill.
just, just an absolute metaphorical and arguably literal dick punch
Yep, pretty
of
much.
hey guy, I know you did everything right, but you still kind of did this thing, so now none of the women in your household can have children.
Just
Bye.
gonna just gonna remind you, the good fucking Christian population believes abortion isn't okay, except when God just decides randomly he's gonna fucking pre-abort every possible chance of life you have because he has a grudge. Really makes you think, doesn't it?
You know, this this plays into the reason why I was reading the Bible in the first place. It was because Liz and Buttdork had got into an argument with one of these Christian type of people who basically said, "I don't wash my hands because Jesus didn't wash his hands."
Yeah. I
To
mean,
which, to which,
Jesus really sanitary. Washed his feet all the time.
to which we went, what? And they brought up a Bible verse, and both me and Liz read it and went, "Oh, you just straight up took this out of context with no explanation whatsoever, because the context of that Bible verse was that yeah, he didn't wash his hands, but that was to prove a point to the Pharisees. What? Why do you guys keep doing this? Do you just think that we won't call you out on your nonsense?"
Yes. Or they'll willfully ignore it.
So yeah, this is why I started reading the Bible, because because I decided, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to get into an argument with these crazy people, and they're gonna bring up Bible verses, and I'm gonna respond with, "Oh, you mean this? You mean how like this happened in the Bible, or how a lot of the Old Testament had God being a fucking absolute just." Uh,
No, haha, don't mention really weird inconsistencies. Haha, that would make my argument so much harder to make. Ha 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 ha. I mean, shh.
yeah, exactly. Mm. Just, just don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Don't say it. But just know that it's happening, I guess. Anyway, uh,
Yeah, people
Isaac's
who like the Bible should watch Monogatari. All right, I'm gonna stop saying that. Anyway, keep going, Rage.
You finally get to the Vatican and you hand Pope a DVD copy of Monogatari.
I mean, they're really into sisters in it.
The Lord was attentive to Sarah, just as he had said, and the Lord carried out just what he had promised to her. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son for Abraham when he was old. At the very time God had told him, Abraham named his son the one Sarah bore him, Isaac. Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, just as God commanded him. Imagine be.
Pissed.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you were here, but God talked about like, all right, Abraham, you gotta cut, you gotta give me all them foreskins.
Snip to BP.
Gotta snip them. And I've just basically said, imagine being that one servant who's just chilling, tending to the flocks or whatever, and just and an announcement comes out that says, all right, attention, all servants, mandatory penis circumcision day is now in effect.
You gotta have your fucking, your well-timed circumcision parties. It's the only way to do it. Come on, Rage. Don't judge. Not cool.
I will judge. I will judge. I will judge because I will judge because like even in modern medicine, that shit hurts. So imagine ancient circumcisions, man. Like imagine being the guy that ended up getting the botched circumcision.
Be fucking base, dude. Deformed PP.
Like not even just deformed, like your whole head is just gone. That whole head is just gone.
Oh yeah. Big RIP moment, to be honest.
Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born. Sarah said, God has given me laughter. Everyone who hears about it will laugh with me. She said, who could have told Abraham that Sarah would nurse sons? But now I've given birth to a son when he was old. The boy grew and stopped nursing. On the day he stopped nursing, Abraham prepared a huge banquet. Sarah saw Hagar's son laughing, the one Hagar the Egyptian had born to Abraham. So she said to Abraham, send this servant away with her son. The servant's son won't share the inheritance with my son Isaac. Ah, God,
Yeah.
I hate
Isaac and Ishmael, right?
Isaac and Ishmael. I
Yeah, that's
absolutely
it.
I absolutely hate Sarah because she was the one who orchestrated the plan in the first place of, hey, you, Hagar, one of my favorite Egyptian servants. I need you to fuck my husband.
You know that Sarah is also racist. She's responsible for racism, low key.
I would imagine so.
Because Ishmael is like, the idea is the descendants of Ishmael go on to fucking found Islam. I believe that's like part of the canonical beliefs of the Quran, if I remember correctly.
I mean,
So
I mean,
she banished everybody off to go become Muslim, and therefore they are inferior, which is fucked.
I would imagine so because you weren't there, but I read the passage where where after Hagar got pregnant, she ran away because for one thing, Hagar really stopped respecting Sarah after that whole Goldry plan kind of blew up in her face. And instead of, kind of trying to treat and take care of and be a better person, no, she just straight up, like, abused and harassed Hagar. And Hagar said, I'm done, and ran away. And
It's
so,
understandable response if you're getting abused to just be like, all right, fuck this shit.
yeah, and so God's messenger said, okay, all right, here's the deal. We need you to come back. Like, you need to come back and deal with the harassment for a little while longer. But we will promise that your ancestry line will have many a children,
Many a children.
and but then the thing is, it's like, however, Ishmael is gonna be a bit of a dick. He, it's just like they said in the verse, he's gonna be a wild mule of a man who picks fights with everyone.
It's fucking based, dude. I wish I was that cool.
It's it's kind of one of those things where you look at that, you realize that Ishmael's line descends from a lot of modern day Muslims, and you just go,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, I see.
Really nice to be able to retcon passages to make sure and reinforce your own beliefs. I like doing that.
Oh,
Especially since, the Bible wasn't actually ever written down until like hundreds of years after it was released. So the oral tradition may have actually skewed to fit the perceptions of people being against Islam. No, I don't know where that came from. Anyway,
we're not even like, you want to talk about like retconning stuff. We haven't even gotten to the apocrypha stuff. Like
no, Apocrypha's based.
like we're we're reading like this and the extended canon, baby.
You're gonna have a long time to stream that, right? It's a long book.
It's a this is a very long book. Yes, I know. I am dreading the day that I am going to have to read all of Psalms.
Psalms is based. I was gonna say that.
150 chapters, technically 151 if you include the apocrypha Psalms.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. This upset Abraham greatly because the boy was his son. God said to Abraham, "Don't be upset about the boy and your servant. Do everything Sarah tells you to do because your descendants will be traced through Isaac. But I will make of your servant's son a great nation too, because he is also your descendant." Abraham got up early in the morning, took some bread and a flask of water, gave it to Hagar, put the boy in her shoulder sling, and sent her away. She left and wandered through the deserts near Beersheba. Beersheba. Finally, the water in the flask ran out, and she put the boy down under one of the desert shrubs. She walked away from him about as far as a bowshot and sat down, telling herself, "I can't bear to see the boy die." She sat at a distance, cried out in grief, and wept. God heard the boy's cries, and God's messenger called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "Hagar, what's wrong with you, bitch? Don't be afraid. God has heard your baby crying. Get up, pick up the boy and take him by the hand, because I will make of him a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well. She went over, filled the water flask, and gave the boy a drink. God remained with the boy. He grew up, lived in the desert, and became an expert archer. He lived in the Paran desert, and his mother found him an Egyptian wife. At the
And then they
time,
lived happily ever after.
yay, boo boo boo.
Probably not.
Oh, I'm currently in another Discord chat. Uh, Slugger. Also, hey, hey, Slugger. Glad you can make it to Bible time.
Bible study with Rage.
Bible study with Rage. It is a thing. I just realized I didn't eat any breakfast.
Oh, me either. I probably should do that. God wants us to eat breakfast, Rage.
Like
I
I'm,
don't actually know if that's true, but
yeah, maybe there's a verse somewhere about it. Let's find out. At the time, Abimelech and Phicol, commander of his forces, said to Abraham, "God is with you in everything that you do. So give me your word under God that you won't cheat me, my children, or my descendants, just as I have treated you fairly, so you must treat me in the land in which you are an immigrant." Abraham said, "I give you my word." Then Abraham accompanied Abimelech about a well that Abimelech's servants had seized. Abimelech said, "I don't know who has done this, and you didn't tell me. I didn't even hear about it until today." Abraham took flocks and cattle, gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them drew up a treaty. Abraham set aside by themselves 7 female lambs from the flock. So Abimelech said to Abraham, What are these 7 lambs you have set apart? Abraham said, These 7 lambs that you take from me will attest that I dug this well. Therefore, the name of that place is Beersheba, because there they gave each other their word. After they drew up their treaty at Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, commander of his forces, returned to the land of the Philistines. Oh, hey, it's the
Philistines
Philistines.
are pretty based.
Philistines, yeah. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and he worshipped there in the name of the Lord, Olam. Abraham lived as an immigrant in the Philistines' land for a long, long time.
Long time will always be some sort of multiplier of 7 because the Bible really likes that number.
Yeah. Ugh. 7 and 3, I noticed.
Yep. And usually if you add 100 to it, that means real long fucking time. Like 700, multiply it by 100, you got 700 years old. You know, usual length people lived back in the day
Just
before
cat.
modern medicine.
Yeah, just casually live up to 900, man.
Dude, I wish.
That'd be sick. That'd be really sick. Ah. After these events, God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. Abraham answered, Yo. God said, Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac,
Oh, yeah, fuck
and,
yeah.
and go to the land of Moriah. Like Moriah, or yeah.
We're about to get to a real Kino story.
Offer him up as a entirely burnt offering there on one of the mountains that I will show you. Abraham got up early in the morning, harnessed his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, together with his son Isaac. He split the wood for the entirely burned offering, set out, and went to the place God had described to him. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place at a distance. Abraham said to his servants, Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will walk up there, worship, and then come back to you. Abraham took the wood for his entirely burned offering and laid it on his son Isaac. He took the fire and the knife in hand, and the 2 of them walked on together. Isaac said to his father, "My my father?" Abraham said, "Yo." Isaac said, "Here's the fire and the wood, but where's the lamb? We usually do a lamb for this." And Abraham said, "Here's the thing." No. Abraham said, "The lamb for the entirely burnt offering, God will see to it, my son." The 2 of them walked on together. They arrived at the place God had described him. Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He tied up Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to kill his son as a sacrifice. But the Lord's messenger called out to Abraham from heaven, "Hey, Abraham! Wait, hold on, Abraham! We didn't think you would do it."
Homie was just, following God.
Like, homie, it was just a joke. Abraham
Chill, no.
Abraham said, "I'm here." The messenger said, "Don't stretch out your hand against the young man, and don't do anything to him. I know that you revere God and didn't hold back your son, your only son, from me." Abraham looked up and saw a single ram, caught by its horns in a dense underbrush. Abraham went over, took the ram, and offered it as an entirely burnt offering instead of his son. Abraham named that place "The Lord Sees." That is the reason people today see, "On this mountain the Lord is seen." The Lord's messenger called out to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, "I give my word as the Lord that because you did this and didn't hold back your son, your only son, I will bless you richly and I will give you countless descendants, as many as the stars in the sky and as the grains of sand on the seashore. They will conquer their enemy cities. All the nations of the earth will be blessed because of your descendants, because you obeyed me." After Abraham returned to the young man, they got up and went to Beersheba, where Abraham lived. After these events, Abraham was told, Milcah, Malka, yeah, Milcah has now also given birth to sons for your brother Nahor. They are Uz, his oldest son, Buz, his brother, and Kemuel, the father of Aram. Chesed, Hazol, Pildah, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah, These are the eight Malka bore for Nahor, Abraham's brother. The secondary wife was named Roma, and she gave birth to Teba, Gaham, Tahash, and Maka. I probably butchered all of that, but oh well.
I mean, they're fucking dead, so who cares? We're not gonna be offended.
Oh, did I already miss Bible study? Okay, bye.
No, no,
It's happening right now,
it's
Crow.
happening right now.
Okay. Okay, good.
Like I'm live.
I'm kind of out of it still,
That's fair.
That's the best
and
state.
I need to see God.
Hello, God.
Hello, hello, God. It's me. I got a little too zooted. I'm gonna
Okay.
need your help for this.
I need your guiding light.
Oh man. So I'm gonna take a break right now. I'm gonna take a
Understandable.
break. I'm gonna take a quick break right now to stretch my legs, go to the bathroom, and then get me something to eat because I am very hungry.
I'm saving room in my stomach for chili tonight that will kill me tomorrow.
Con-
So
consume the chili.
I'm going to, and I will have a great time. It's someone's birthday today. It is Michael's birthday today.
Oh, nice.
Rats, rats, we are the rats. Man, my character looking pretty festive today. I
Big,
finally
big
got
crema.
I finally got the Christmas scarf,
Hey,
and I'm very happy about it. I also got antlers because I can.
gotta stay on brand.
And now I roleplay as a deer in World vs. World while there's
A,
always
a
fights.
reindeer. A
Yeah,
reindeer.
yeah, exactly. My guild is called Daddy's Little Reindeer, and the enemy team, all they see is my like my server ranking, and then Daddy's Little Reindeer. That's all they see. Great. So sometimes I just run around the map as a deer, making friends with the enemy team.
As you should. You know, make some buddies.
Exactly. And I figured out that one server absolutely hates me, so I'm going to assume that they're automatically homophobic. And my character's the gayest looking thing that I've made with this race. So, uh,
Sorry, Crow. I'm like low
oh
key
no,
editing as well,
I,
so
I'm. It's okay. I'm a little out of it, so
no, it's all good.
you can ignore me. I'll just rant for like 4 hours straight, and I'll be done.
If I ever catch or like if I catch stuff of it, I'll jump in periodically, but I might be kind of out of it as well because I'm just timeline. All timeline.
I'm just watching this guild that is so full of themselves. It's really funny.
Mm.
Yeah, there's new style stuff today. So yesterday, uh, so this is how this game mode works. In a sense, if you've never heard about it, kind of like it's not necessarily capture a flag, but we got like flip keeps and stuff like that. Basic Warzone bullshit. There's waypoints and keeps and all that whenever they get to T3. But if you tap their keep, as in like you hit one of the NPCs, it automatically contests it. So I was in enemy spawn area playing music on the game's instruments because I'm starting to learn how to actually play music on them. And I just kept running up and contesting their keep while also giving them food and being a genuinely nice person while being a dick. So they couldn't go defend something that they needed to. We had to cap it. Just an asshole. I think this person believes I'm like over 50.
How are you pulling off that you're over 50? I don't
Wait, what?
like 50 years old, bro.
Yeah. They somehow believe that I'm an old person.
Are you talking the way you normally do? Because
Yes.
I don't know how you could maintain your mental stature and make it to 50. I feel like you you do
I
some
will.
crazy shit.
I'm slowly going into early onset dementia, but that's not the point.
God damn it, girl.
Uh, just because the way that I talk, like how kinky I normally am whenever I speak, people just automatically assume that I'm like a 50-year-old pervert.
I could get that a little bit.
But it's like,
Like,
honey, no, I'm 22, I'm baby.
it's kind of divorced at age though. You just horny, dog. You're just horny. I feel like everybody can be horny. You got sex drive at any age.
Yeah, and I'm on testosterone now, so my sex drive is going to be spiking further.
No, test is base, dude. Congratulations on getting your boy juice.
Oh yes, thank you. I started last Monday, so I have to go in this Monday and get another injection from the doctor, and they're gonna be like, "Do it yourself."
You
The only reason why that I'm even going in and having them like tell me what to do is just because I'm stupid and I
yeah.
uh, I don't trust myself with needle.
Usually better safe than sorry though, right?
Exactly. But I'm severely finding it funny that this guy just automatically assumes that I'm over 50 years old just because I talk about how the other server wants my asshole the entire time because they keep hitting me. Like, yeah, I talk about butts all the time, but that's literally because everyone on the server knows I'm gay.
Well,
It just plays into my character.
nothing wrong with liking some butts, dog.
Exactly. So this guy, pretty cringe core.
Yeah, I mean, not liking butts is in fact, no matter, unless of course you're asexual, but under any other circumstance, no matter your sexuality, it should be a pretty universal concept. Butts, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Butts are just back boobs. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's the common divide, but you can also fuck a butt. You can't really fuck boobs as much as people like to claim you. Titty fucking
There's
is
no
really
hole in the chest. You'd kill someone like that.
titty fucking is overrated, dude. Like, oh great, you just slide your dick through some tits.
See, for me, it's thigh fucking and, butt fucking. Like, that's
There's a mouth
what I'm
and there are
into.
other orifices, and I can appreciate, your orifice of choice, but I don't think like just rubbing your penis all over people's body is like it's just not my thing. Not my thing. Personally.
You see, that's why I feel like thigh fucking is kind of the meat, like the middle ground, because, it just goes straight into the fun part after.
Yeah, no, I mean you're pretty much warming yourself up right next to the goal.
Exactly. It's the best thing. So, thighs and ass.
I can respect. That's a good little wombo combo.
See, I'm all for, you know, boobs and all that. I'm all for that. I'd love to go to a strip club with my friends and just have a great time. Uh, but I see them all the time, and it's like not even hot to me.
Just a normal part of life. Yeah. Titty can be titty can be good, but titty do get old sometimes.
Titty be good, but too much titty, you'll overdose.
I don't know that I could overdose on titty. That'd be kind of base, but death by titty.
Look, I'd rather take death by suffocation to someone's thighs than tits. To be fair,
That's reasonable. I can respect that.
and there's also the fun factor of if I suffocate in someone's thighs, it can also crack my neck.
What's with the various joint cracking fetishes that you have, bro?
I
Not even a fetish, it's just functional, I get it, but
it's not even about cracking my neck. I just want to fucking die.
oh boy.
Like, bitch, I want them to squeeze my head like a watermelon. Like, what's up?
You'd have to have really fucking strong legs to pop it like a watermelon.
I want my brain to look like watermelon juice. Let's go.
That's imagery. Tell you what.
I'm sorry I'm like this.
No, it's okay. I appreciate you for who you are, bro. Appreciate you for who you are.
Thank you for being a supportive family member
Indeed.
in this intervention meeting.
It's not an intervention. Nothing's stopping here. I'm gonna say that much.
Oh no, the wrath of God will stop me. We are in Bible study, by the way.
And we're back.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What I
We
missed?
actually are in Bible study again.
You missed some very sinful things, and I need to douse my eyes in holy water and throw an entire body.
Oh, God, what did you say in the stream?
We're talking about the usual thighs, boobs, and butt stuff.
Hey, Rage, you an ass guy or tits guy?
Welcome back to Bible study.
Welcome back to Bible study.
Are you streaming right now?
Yeah, I was streaming that entire time.
Jesus Christ.
I think I was vaguely aware, but my brain just said kept going.
Oh,
Keep
boy.
going.
Yeah, I
figured.
figured you would say some stupid stuff, so I figured I might as well keep the chat entertained, but I wasn't expecting you to go like that.
Well, no, the only thing that started it was because someone keeps, like, in Guild Wars, they keep calling me an old pervert, like a 50-year-old pervert, and I'm 22. Like, that's where it actually originated from, and then it just turned into just straight up, like, you know, yeah, thighs are fucking hot type of conversation.
Okay.
Sorry, Rage, nice.
It went okay.
I hope the pastor's not in your chat.
He didn't. He didn't say anything, so I'm guessing no.
Would he have said things? Would he have said we were going to hell?
If the pastor was in the chat, I would have seen him drop like a random Bible fact, and there's a high likelihood that he would have just stopped watching.
I'm so sorry for being who I am.
I'm not. That was funny as fuck.
Anyway, we are now back to our regularly scheduled Bible reading.
Rage, answer the question. No, I'm kidding. Keep streaming. Stop interrupting.
Anyway, oh wait, hold up. I got pinged with something. It's throwing up. Alright. Okay. Discord time now over. Now it's time for Bible. I have consumed the gas station chicken and I am now happy.
The gas station chicken. Sounds like a tasty treat.
Yeah. Yeah, dad left to get a couple of things from the store, and it's now become a tradition where on Sunday he buys gas station chicken and watches football.
It's a good way to spend a Sunday.
Yeah, it's a good way to spend a Sunday. Sometimes you just want to eat some gas station chicken and watch football.
Like fried chicken, right?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck yeah.
Is there anything else? Is there any other gas station chicken?
I don't know, like a whole rotisserie chicken from a 7-Eleven. Sounds fucking awful. I'm so sorry that I said that out loud.
There's someone that wants to join the Discord. mainly to say some stupid stuff during Bible stream.
No,
I mean, it's not my server,
not my
and
server.
with the way that Shade is, it kind of need like confirmation of validation rather of other people that they know.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm holding off on this.
Could just make a quick server and then just jump over that.
I could, I. You know what? I could probably hop into that Discord for a second just to let him say what he's got to say, and then I'm probably gonna hop back over here.
Word.
So I'll be right back.
Oh,
Hello. What you got to say about Bible study?
it's called the mess. It's called butt. I don't have. You should make your own Discord specifically for the Bible study.
I'm tempted. I'm tempted, but for now, it's whatever. So lay it on me because I'm probably gonna hop back over there after this.
I mean, I don't know what to say about Bible study. I just want to be a part of it, other than just commenting and then having nobody respond to it until like 3 minutes later.
That's understandable. Well, I mean, this is your golden opportunity. Just spew it out. Just say whatever you gotta say. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
There's nothing to say. We're not reading the Bible right now.
You you were in the stream when I was reading it.
Yeah, and I was commenting. And I said the Bible. I said it was a prank, bro. Don't murk your son. It was a joke.
Fine, fine. All right, fine. Let's read a verse or two, and then I'm gonna hop back over into butt dork.
In the blood dork.
Hold on. Let me let me screen share this for you so that you can see it. Nope, not that. That's Streamlabs. There you go.
I was just looking at the stream, but I guess that would be pretty delayed.
It would be very delayed. So, chapter 23. Sarah lived to be 127 years old. This was how
Long
long
time.
she lived. She died in what? How are you?
Already starting off strong. Lived to be 127 years old. This is how long she lived.
Yeah, of course. That's how the Bible.
Cusco, the poison chosen especially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
See, okay, that is in Hebron in the land of Canaan, and Abraham cried out in grief and wept for Sarah. After he got up from embracing his deceased wife, he spoke with the Hittites. I am an immigrant and a temporary resident with you. Give me some property for a burial plot among you so that I can bury my deceased wife near me. The Hittites responded to Abraham, listen to us, sir. You are an eminent man of God among us. Bury your dead in one of our select burial sites. None of us will keep our own burial plots from you to bury your dead. Abraham rose and bowed to the local citizens of the Hittites and spoke with them. If you yourselves allow me to bury my dead near me, listen to me and ask Ephron, Zohar's son, to give me his own cave in Machpelah at the edge of his field. Let him give to me for the full price to be witnessed by you as my own burial property. Now Ephron was a native Hittite, so Ephron the Hittite responded to Abraham publicly in order that the Hittites and everyone at this city gate could hear. No, sir, listen. I will give you the field and I will give you the cave in it. In front of my people's witness, I will give to you, bury your dead. Abraham bowed before the local citizens and spoke to Ephron publicly in the presence of the local citizens. If only you would accept my offer. I will give you the price of the field. Take it from me so that I can bury my dead there. Ephron responded to Abraham, Sir, what is 400 shekels of silver between me and you for the land so that you can bury your
It's just
dead?
like, let me pay you. No, dude, you don't gotta just do it, man.
Yeah. Abraham accepted Ephron's offer and weighed out the Ephron the silver he requested publicly before the Hittites. 400 shekels of silver at the current rate of exchange. So
Whatever that was.
it's shekels, it's whatever. So the field of Ephron in Machpelah near Mamre, the field and the cave in it, and all the trees within the field's boundaries was officially transferred to Abraham as his property in the presence of the Hittites and of everyone at his city's gate. After this, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave in the field of Machpelah near Mamre, so that Hebron in the land of Canaan. The field and the cave in it were officially transferred from the Hittites to Abraham as his burial property.
I like how it specifies how old uh wife was, but not how old he must still be to be alive at this point. He's probably like 200.
No, 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 no. No, if the math is still correct, then he was 10 years older than Sarah, so he's 137.
Yeah. Don't mention that. He's still living longer.
As the days went by and Abraham became older, the Lord blessed Abraham in every way. Abraham said to the oldest servant of his household, who was in charge of everything he owned, Put your hand under my thigh. By the Lord God of heaven and earth, give me your word that you won't choose a wife for my son from the Canaanite women among whom I live. Go to my land and my family and find a wife for my son Isaac there. The servant said to him, What if the woman doesn't agree to come back with me to this land? Shouldn't I take your son back to the land you left? Abraham said to him, Be sure you don't take my son back there. The Lord God of heaven, who took me from my father's household and from my family's land, who spoke with me and gave me his word, saying, I will give this land to your descendants. He will send his messenger in front of you, and you will find a wife for my son there. If the woman won't agree to come back with you, you will be free from this obligation to me. Only don't take my son back there. So the servant put his hand
Gonna
under.
probably do it though.
Yeah. So the servant put his hand under his master Abraham's thigh and gave him his word about this mission.
You know, like a liar.
The servant took 10 of his master's camels and all of his master's best provisions, set out and traveled to Nahor city in Aram Naharaim. Naharaim. He had his camels kneel down outside the city at the well in the evening. When women came out to draw water, he said, Lord, God of my master Abraham, make something good happen with me today and be loyal to my master Abraham. I will stand there by the spring while the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. When I say to a young woman, Hand me your water jar so I can drink, and she says to me, Drink and I will give you your camel's water too, may she be the one you've selected for your servant Isaac. In this way I will know that you've been loyal to my master. Even before he finished speaking, Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, son of Micah's wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, was coming out with a water jar on her shoulder. The young woman was very beautiful, old enough to be married, and hadn't known a man intimately. She went down to the spring, filled her water jar, and came back up. The servant ran to meet her and said, Give me a little sip of your water from your jar. She said, Drink, sir. Then she quickly lowered the water jar with her hands and gave him some water to drink. When she finished giving him a drink, she said, I'll draw some water for your camels too, till they had enough to drink. She emptied her water jar quickly into the watering trough and ran to the well again to draw water and drew water for all of the camels. The man stood gazing at her, wondering silently if the Lord had made his trip successful or not. As soon as the camels had finished drinking, the man took out a gold ring, weighing a half shekel, and 2 gold bracelets for her arms, weighing 10 shekels. He said, Please tell me whose daughter you are. Is there a room in your father's house for us to spend the night? She responded, I am the daughter of Bethuel, who is the son of Milcah and Nahor. She continued, We have plenty of straw and feed for the camels, and a place to spend the night. The man bowed and praised the Lord. Bless the Lord, God of my master Abraham, who hasn't given up his loyalty and his faithfulness to my master. The Lord has shown me the way to the household of my master's brother. The young woman ran and told her mother's household everything that had happened. Rebekah had a brother named Laban, and Laban ran to the man outside the spring. When he had seen the ring and the bracelets on his sister's arms. And when he had heard his sister Rebecca say, "This is what the man said to me," he went to the man who was still standing by the spring with his camels. Laban said, "Come in, favored one of the Lord. Why are you standing outside? I have prepared the house and a place for the camels." So the man entered the house. Then Laban unbridled the camels, provided straw and feed for them, and water to wash his feet and the feet of the men with him, and set out a meal for them. But the man said, "I won't eat
Wasn't
it."
there that thing where it was like in the Bible, feet is a euphemism for like their fucking nards?
I don't think so.
I heard that once, and I don't know if it was true.
I don't I don't trust that theory. I will say it literally means feet, but I could be wrong.
Probably, probably. That was probably super wrong, but also, man, wouldn't it be funny?
Ugh, that'd be gross too.
Uh, I'm getting nervous about this part because it's like, hey, go find a wife for my son, and then we're talking about his fucking brother or whatever. I feel like this is gonna get into Alabama territory.
Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, who knows? The Bible's old. Maybe it was less frowned upon back then.
But the man said, "I won't eat until I have said something." Laban replied, "Say it." The man
Oh
said,
my god.
"I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has richly blessed my master, has made him a great man, and has given him flocks, cattle, silver, gold, men servants, women servants, camels, and donkeys. My master's wife Sarah gave birth to a son for my master in her old age, and he has given him everything he owns. My master made me give him my word. Don't choose a wife for my son from the Canaanite women in whose land I am living. No, instead, go to my father's household and to my relatives and choose a wife for my son." I said to my I said to my master, "What if the woman won't come back with me?" He said to me, "The Lord, whom I have traveled with everywhere, will send his messenger with you and make your trip successful. You will choose a wife for my son and from my relatives and from my father's household."
Dude, yup.
Shush. "If you go to my
Hmm.
relatives, you will be free from your obligation to me. Even if they provide no one for you, you will be free from your obligation to me." Today I arrived at the spring and said, "Lord God of my master Abraham, if you wish to make the trip I'm taking successful." When I'm standing by the spring, the young woman who comes out to draw the water, and to whom I will say, "Please give me a little drink from your jar," as he responds to me, "Drink, and I will draw water for your camels too." May she be the woman the Lord had selected for my master's son. Before I finished saying this to myself, Rebecca came out with her water jar on her shoulder and went down to the spring to draw water, and I said to her, "Please give me something to drink." She immediately lowered her water jar and said, "Drink. I would give your camel something to drink too." So I drank, and she also gave water to the camels. Then I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" And she said, "The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bore him." I put a ring on her in her nose and bracelets on her arm. I bowed and worshipped the Lord, blessed the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who led me in the right direction, to choose the granddaughter of my master's brother for his son.
Getting deja vu. Did we already read this?
To choose the granddaughter of my master's brother for his son. Granddaughter of my master's brother. So Isaac, if I'm calculating this correctly, is going to marry his grandniece. Yep, grandniece.
Yeah.
Now, if you're loyal and faithful to my master, tell me. If not, tell me so I will know where I stand either way. Laban and Bethuel both responded, "This is this is all the Lord's doing. We have nothing to say about it. Here's Rebecca right in front of you. Take her and go. She will be the wife of your master's son, just as the Lord said." And Abraham's
Sometimes just throw
servant
it be.
heard what they said. He bowed low before the Lord. The servant brought out gold and silver jewelry and clothing and gave them to Rebekah. To her brother and to her mother he gave the finest gifts. He and the men with him ate and drank and spent the night. When he got up in the morning, the servant said, "See me off to my master." Her brother and mother said, "Let the young woman stay with us not more than 10 days, and after that she may go." But she said to him, "Don't delay me. The Lord has made my trip successful. See me off so that I can go to my master." They said, "Summon the young woman and let's ask her opinion." They called Rebecca and said to her, "Will you go with this man?" She said, "I will go." So they sent off their sister Rebecca, her nurse, Abraham's servant, and his men. And they blessed Rebecca, saying to her, "May you, our sister, become thousands of 10,000. May your children possess their enemies' cities." Rebecca and her young woman got up, mounted the camels, and followed the man. So the servant took Rebecca and left. Now Isaac had come from the region of Bir Lahai and had settled in the arid southern plain. One evening, Isaac went out to inspect the pasture. While staring, he saw the camels approaching. Rebecca stared at Isaac. She got down from the camel and said to the servant, "Who is this man walking through the pasture to meet us?" The servant said, "He is my master." So she took her headscarf and covered herself. The servant told Isaac everything that had happened. Isaac brought Rebecca to his mother Sarah's tent. He received Rebecca and as his wife and loved her. So Isaac found comfort after his mother's death. God, reading all this is a nightmare. Anyway,
Yeah, especially since we're getting into fucking weird Bible incest territory.
we've been there. We've been there. I'm
We've
hopping.
been reading the incest.
I'm hopping back over to Butt Dork.
Alright. This is the slugger segment of the stream, I suppose.
The slugger segment of Bible study.
Goodbye, everyone who watches this later. I will still be in the comments.
All right.
Oh,
So,
welcome back.
so you're watching the stream, right?
Uh, I always have the stream turned down, like all the way down whenever I'm in a call with people. Then I just kind of forgot to turn it back up, so I've just been sitting in silence this entire time
If
while I'm.
if
Sorry
you
for that.
if you
Oh,
didn't,
no, that's fine.
yeah, no, it's fine. If you weren't paying attention, Isaac married his grandniece.
Yeah, sounds about right.
There were only so many people back then, Rage. You can't judge.
I will judge.
Okay, if Albert Einstein can, get married to his cousin, why can't I?
Slugger is screaming at you as screaming at you. Why did you mute us? Why did you mute Bible study, Crow? Why did you mute?
I do Bible study if I'm in a call with people that are doing Bible study. Oh, what is this cringe lord doing? I still run this signal hunt. What a fucking duck. Ugh.
How long have I been streaming? All right, 2 hours. That's not bad. Continuing on, Abraham married another wife named Keturah. The children she bore him were Zimron, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Isbak, and Shua. Joskan became the father of Sheba and Dedan. Dedan's sons were Ashram, Lethushim, and Lumim. Midian's sons were Epher, Enoch, Abana, and Eldah. All of these were Keturah's sons. Abraham gave him everything he owned to Isaac. To the sons of Abraham's secondary wives, Abraham gave gifts and, while he was still living, sent them away from his son Isaac to the land in the east. Ugh. Abraham lived to be the age of 175. Not bad. Abraham took his last breath and died after a good long life, a content old man, and he was placed with his ancestors. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is in the fields of Zohar's son Ephron the Hittite near Mamre. Thus, Abraham and his wife Sarah were both buried in the fields Abraham had purchased from the Hittites. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac lived near Beer Lahai. These are the descendants of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore for Abraham. These are the names of Ishmael's sons by their names according to their birth order. Nebaioth, Ishmael's oldest son, Kedar, Abdil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Amasa, Hadad, Tema, Jetor, Naphish, and Kedema. These are Ishmael's sons. These are their names by their villages and their settlements, 12 tribal leaders according to their tribes. Ishmael lived to the age of 137. He took his last breath and died, and was placed with his ancestors. He established camps from Havilah to Shur, which is near Egypt, on the road to Assyria. He died among all of his brothers. Ugh.
Man, imagine dying with your siblings.
Ugh.
Pretty cringe.
Kind of cringe. These are the
Imagine dying. That's way even.
Oh hey, oh hey,
Very
hey,
cringe.
we're getting to another good part of the Bible. We're about to get to the Jacob and Esau arc.
Oh, blessed.
These are the descendants of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham became the father of Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, who we're not gonna mention is his grandniece, the Aramean, and the sister of Laban and the Aramean, and from Padan Aram. Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife. Whilst he was unable to have children, the Lord was moved by his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. But the boys pushed against each other inside of her, and she said, "If this is what it's like, why did it happen to me?" Yikes. So she
Don't
went.
forget, incest is okay as long as it's Christian.
Amen. So she went to ask the Lord, and the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb. Two different people will emerge from your body. One people will be stronger than the other. The older will serve the younger." This let's I wanna let's keep let's bookmark that statement for future use. When she reached the end of her pregnancy, she discovered that she had twins. The first came out red all over, clothed with hair, and she named him Esau. Immediately afterwards, his brother came out, gripping Esau's heel, and she named him Jacob. Jacob was 60 years old when they were born. When the young men grew up, Esau became an outdoorsman who knew how to hunt, and Jacob became a quiet man who stayed at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once, when Jacob was boiling stew, Esau came from the field hungry and said to Jacob, "I'm starving. Let me devour some of this red stuff." This That's why his name is Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright today." Hey, hey bro, if you want this stew, let me have your inheritance. Esau said, "Since I'm gonna die anyway, what good is my birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Give me your word today," and he did. He sold his birthright to Jacob, so Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew. He ate, drank, got up, and left, showing just how little he thought of his birthright. The yeah, it's like yeah, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Like take my will, like take my part of the will. I don't care. Just give me my food. Just give me some soup. Give me some stew.
Hungry.
Sometimes you be hungry and you give up your inheritance.
Yeah, it just be like that sometimes.
When a famine gripped the land, a different one from the first famine that occurred in Abraham's time, Isaac set out towards Gerar and towards King Abimelech of the Philistines. The Lord appeared to him and said, "Don't go down to Egypt, but settle temporarily in the land that I will show you. Stay in this land as an immigrant, and I will be with you and bless you, because I will give all of these lands to you and your descendants. I will keep my word which I gave to your father Abraham. I will give you as many descendants as the stars in the sky, and I will give your descendants all of these lands. All of the nations of the earth will be blessed because of your descendants. I will do this because Abraham obeyed me and kept my orders, my commandments, my statutes, and my instructions." So Isaac lived in Gerar. When the man who lived there asked about his wife, he said, "She's my sister." They keep doing this. It just keeps happening. Because he was afraid to say my wife, thinking, "These men who live there will kill me for Rebecca because she's very beautiful." After Isaac had lived there for some time, the Philistine king Abimelech looked out his window and saw Isaac laughing together with his wife Rebecca. So Abimelech summoned Isaac and said, "She's your wife, isn't she? How could you say she's my sister?" Isaac responded, "Because I thought I might be killed because of her." Abimelech said, "What are you trying to do to us? Before long, one of the people would have slept with your wife, and you would have made us guilty. Abimelech gave orders to all of the people. Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death. I feel bad for King Abimelech. Just imagine living in this kingdom, just doing your job, and and every so often this family household appears in your city, and you ask them, "Hey, who is this person in relation to you?" And the guy always responds with, "Oh, she's my sister." And you go, "All right, that's cool." And then God appears to you and says, were you seriously about to sleep with that guy's sister? That's his wife. That's pretty cringe. I'm going to ruin your household, your kingdom, and your family." And you just have to go, "He lied to me. What was I didn't know that. I didn't know like he was his wife." It has happened many time over, and I feel bad for everyone who has to deal with it. Just just like, God damn it. Why did they keep lying about this? Ah, okay. Isaac planted grain in that land and reaped 100 shirim. That year, because the Lord had blessed him, Isaac grew richer and richer until he was extremely wealthy. He had livestock, both flocks and cattle, and many servants. As a result, the Philistines envied him. The Philistines closed up and filled with dirt all of the wells that his father's servants had dug during his father Abraham's time. Abimelech said to Isaac, "Move away from us because you have become too powerful among us." So Isaac moved away from there, camped in the valley of Gerar, and lived there. Isaac dug out again the wells that were dug during the lifetime of his father Abraham. The Philistines had closed them up after Abraham's death. Isaac gave them the same names his father had given them. Isaac's servants dug wells in the valley and found a well there with fresh water. Isaac's separates argued with Gerar's separates, each claiming, "This is our water." So Isaac named the well Esek because they quarreled with him. They dug another well and argued about it too, so he named it Sitnah. He left there and dug another well, but they didn't argue about it, so he named it Rehoboth and said, "Now the Lord has made an open space for us and has made us fertile in the land." So he went up to Gerar to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him that night and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, because I am with you. I will bless you, and I will give you many children for my servant Abraham's sake." So Isaac built an altar there and worshipped in the Lord's name. Isaac pitched his tent there, and his servants dug a well. But Abimelech set out towards him with Gerar, while Ashudoth and his ally Phicol, the commander of his forces, Isaac said to him, "Why have you come after me? You resented me and sent me away from you." They said, "We now see that the Lord was with you. We propose that there be a formal treaty between us and that we draw up a treaty with you. You must not treat us badly since we haven't harmed you and since we have treated you well at all times. Then we will send you away peacefully, for you are now blessed by the Lord." Isaac prepared a banquet for them, and they ate and drank. They got up early in the morning, and they gave each other their word. Isaac sent them off, and they left peacefully. That day, Isaac's servants informed him about the well that they had been digging, and said to him, "We found water." He called it Sheba. Therefore, the city's name had been Beersheba until today. When Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basmath, daughter of Elon the Hittite. They made life very difficult for Isaac and Rebekah.
Oh god, no. I made big fucky wucky mistakey. Oh god, oh no,
You okay, Crow?
no.
What happened?
Don't worry about it. I somehow miraculously made it out. I'm Gucci.
Well, I mean, that's good.
I'm sorry, my initial panic of dying always sets the moment that I'm just messing around. I gotta refresh my speech.
My bad. Ah, fuck me. Don't.
100%.
No, fucking Premiere crash. Sorry.
Oh, dang.
It's fine. It happens.
Did you save recently?
Um. I don't. It's fucking irritating because the crash won't even fucking close the goddamn program.
Oh, one of
Uh.
those crashes. Okay, I know the pain.
Alright. When Isaac had grown old and his eyesight was failing, he summoned his older son Esau and said to him, "My son?" And Esau said, "I'm here." He said, "I'm old and don't know when I'll die. So now take your hunting gear, your bow, and quiver of arrows, go out to the field and hunt game for me. Make me the delicious food that I love and bring it to me so I can eat. Then I can bless you before I die." Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau went out to the field to hunt game to bring back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "I just heard your father saying to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and make me some delicious food so I can eat, and I will bless you in the Lord's presence before I die.' Now, my son, listen to me, to what I'm telling you to do. Go to the flock and get me 2 healthy young goats, so that I can prepare them as the delicious food your father loves. You can bring it to your father, he will eat, then he will bless you before he dies." Jacob said to his mother Rebekah, "My brother Esau is a hairy man, but I have smooth skin." Like, mom, mom, I hate to tell you this, but Es, Esau is like a bear, and I'm a twink. How we gonna fool Dad?
Very carefully.
His mother said to him, "Your curse will be on me, my son." Oh yeah, but I have smooth skin. What if my father touches me and thinks I'm making fun of him? I will be cursed instead of blessed. His mother said to him, "Your curse will be on me, my son. Just listen to me. Go and get them for me." So he went and got them and brought them to his mother. And Esau made the delicious food that his father loved. Rebekah took her older son Esau's favorite clothes that were in the house with her, and she put them on her younger son Jacob. On his arms and smooth necks she put the hide of young goats, and the delicious food and the bread she had made, he put into her son's hands. Jacob went to his father and said, "My father?" He said, "I'm here. Who are you, my son?" Jacob said to his father, "I'm Esau, your oldest son. I have made what you asked of me. Sit up and eat some of the game so you can bless me." Isaac said to his son, "How could you find this so quickly, my son?" Like, wow, your hunting trip was short. Are you sure you hunted game? He said, "The Lord your God led me right to it." Jacob, Isaac said to Jacob, "Come here and let me touch you, my son. Are you my son Esau or not?" So Jacob approached his father Isaac, and Isaac touched him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the arms are Esau's arms." Isaac didn't recognize him because his arms were very hairy like Esau's arms, so he blessed him. Isaac said, "Are you really my son Esau?" He said, "I am." Isaac said, "Bring me some food here and let me eat some of my son's game so I can bless you." Jacob put it before him and he ate, and he brought him wine and he drank. His father Isaac said to him, "Come here and kiss me, my son." So he came close and kissed him. When Isaac smelt the scent of his clothes, he blessed him. See, the scent of my son is like the scent of the field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you showers from the sky, olive oil from the earth, plenty of grain and new wine. May the nations serve you, may people bow down to you, be the most powerful man among your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Those who curse you will be cursed, and those who bless you will be blessed. After Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and just as Jacob left his father Isaac, his brother Esau came back from the hunt. He too made some delicious food, brought it to his father, and said, "Let my father sit up and eat from his son's gain, so that you may bless me." His father Isaac said to him, "Who are you?" And he said, I'm your son, your oldest son, Esau." Isaac was so shocked he trembled violently and said, "Who was the hunter just here with game? He brought me food, and I ate it all before you came. I blessed him, and he will stay blessed." When Esau heard what his father said, he let out a loud, agonizing cry and wept bitterly. He said to his father, bless me too, my father." Isaac said, "Your brother has already come deceitfully and has taken your blessing." Esau said, "Isn't this why he's called Jacob? He's taken me twice now. He took my birthright, and now he's taken my blessing," he continued. "Haven't you saved the blessing for me?" Isaac replied to Esau, I have already made him more powerful than you, and I have made all of his brothers his servants. I have made him strong with grain and wine. What can I do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, Do you really have only one blessing, father? Bless me too, my father. And Esau wept loudly. His father Isaac responded to him and said to him, Now, you will make a home far away from the olive groves of the earth, far away from the shower of the sky above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will tear away his harness from your neck. God. Oh, man. Esau was furious at Jacob because his father had blessed him, and Esau said to himself, When the period of mourning for his death of my father is over, I will kill my brother. Rebekah was told what her older son Esau was planning, so she summoned her younger son Jacob and said to him, Okay, so plan worked successfully, but Esau now really wants to kill you. Now, my son, listen to me. Get up and escape to my brother Laban in Haran. Live with him for a short while until your brother's rage subsides, until your brother's anger at you goes away and he forgets what you did to him. Then I will send for you and bring you back from there. Why should I suffer the loss of both of you on one day? Rebekah then said to Isaac, I really loathe these Hittite women. If Jacob marries one of the Hittite women, like the women of this land, why should I go on living? Alrighty then.
Reasonable.
My eyes are starting
Might
to
as
hurt.
well fucking die.
My eyes are starting to hurt. I am a suffering.
I mean, technically, church only lasts for like what, 2 hours? I don't know anything about
Hour
religion.
tops. Like an hour tops.
It depends. I mean, it all depends on which church you go to. It can literally range from an hour to like 5. It's churches like that sometimes. So I mean, like, I'll finish off this chapter, maybe the chapter afterwards, and then I'm gonna call it. So Isaac summoned Jacob, blessed him, and gave him these orders. Don't marry a Canaanite woman. Get up and go to Padan Aram, to the household of Bethuel, your mother's father, and once there, marry one of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. God Almighty will bless you, make you fertile, and give you many descendants so that you will become a large group of peoples. He will give you and your descendants Abraham's blessing so that you will own the land in which you are now immigrants, the land God gave to Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob off, and he traveled to Padan Aram, to Laban son of Bethuel the Aramean and brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. Esau understood that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him to Padan Aram to marry a woman from there. He recognized that when Isaac blessed Jacob, he had ordered him, Don't marry a Canaanite woman, and that Jacob had listened to his father and mother and gone to Padan Aram. Esau realized that his father Isaac considered Canaanite women unacceptable, so he went to Ishmael and married Mahalath's daughter of Abraham's son Ishmael and sister of Nebaioth, in addition to his other wives. Oh, we're getting to the good part. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. He reached a certain place and spent the night there. When the sun had set, he took one of the stones at the place and put it near his head. Then he lay down there. He dreamed and saw a raised staircase, its foundation on earth and its top touching the sky, and God's messengers were ascending and descending on it. Suddenly the Lord was standing on it, and said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will become like dust of the earth. You will spread out to the east, west, north, and south. Every family of earth will be blessed because of you and your descendants. I am with you now. I will protect you everywhere you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done everything I have promised to you. When Jacob woke up from his sleep, he thought to himself, The Lord is definitely in its place, but I didn't know it. He was terrified and thought, This sacred place is awesome, but it's none other than God's house and the entrance to heaven. After Jacob got up early in the morning, he took the stone that he had put near his head and set it up as a sacred pillar and poured oil on top of it. He named that sacred place Bethel, The Lowes was the city's only name. Jacob made a solemn promise. If God is with me and protects me from the trip I'm taking, and gives his bread to eat and clothes to wear, I will return safely from my father's household. Then the will be my God. The stone that I have set up at the sacred parlor will be God's house, and of everything you will give to me, and I will give tenth back to you. Wait a second. This is. Hold on. This is sacrilege. This is absolutely nonsense. Because I know that Bible verse story, and God doesn't just appear on the ladder and tells him about his blessings. No, you want to know what Jacob does? He
Hmm.
he he squares up with a angel to get a blessing. He literally, in his dreams, he sees the staircase, he sees angels walking up it, and he goes to one of them and says, "Hey, bro, can I get another blessing?" And the guy goes, "Nah, nah, not right now. I mean, like, I'm busy, so I gotta go." And he goes, "No." It's like, I don't think you heard me. I want a blessing. And, like, the angels just goes, "I am busy." And then they start wrestling and fighting. They fight for like an entire day before the angel finally gets up and goes, "Fine, you know what? Here, take this stupid blessing. Your crops will multiply. I don't care. Just get off of me and let me go do my job."
Thinking about what I just did. I'm
It's really cool, and like they this this version seemingly retcons that. Let me see if I can look. Let me see if I can look in like the another version, like the new King James version or something.
hmm, got 20 seconds on that, so I can't use that just yet. What I can do.
Huh? Even in the King James version, it's not there. Maybe there's another moment. Oh look. I guess there is no ladder match. At least not right now. All right. Common English version. Jacob meets Rachel. Jacob got to his feet and set out for the land of the Easterners. He saw a well in the field in front of him, near which three flocks of sheep were lying down. That well was their source for water because the flocks drank from that well. A huge stone covered the well's opening, where when all of the flocks were gathered there, the shepherds would roll the stone from the well's opening, water the sheep, and return to the stone to its place at the well's opening. Jacob said to them, "Where are you from, my brothers?" They said, "We're from Haran." Then he said to them, "Do you know Laban, Nahor's grandson?" They said, "We know him." He said to them, "Is he well?" They said, "He's fine, in fact. That this is his daughter Rachel now, coming with the flock." He said to them, "It's now only the middle of the day. It's not time yet to gather the animals, water the flock, and then go put them out to pasture." They said to him, "We can't until all the herds are gathered, and then we roll the stone away from the well's opening and water the flock." While he was still talking to them, Rachel came from the father's flock, since she was in its shepherd. Then Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban his uncle, and the flock of Laban. Jacob came up, rolled the stone from the well's opening, and watered the flock of his uncle Laban. Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. Jacob told Rachel that he was related to her father and that she was Rebekah's son. She then ran to tell her father. When Laban heard about Jacob, his sister's son, he ran to meet him. Laban embraced him, kissed him, and invited him to his house, where Jacob recounted to Laban everything that had happened. Laban said to him, "Yes, you are my flesh and blood." Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. After Jacob had stayed with Laban for a month, Laban said to Jacob, You shouldn't have to work for free just because you are my relative. Tell me what you would like to be paid." Now Laban had two daughters, the older one named Leah and the younger Rachel. Leah had delicate eyes, but Rachel had a beautiful figure and was good looking.
Oh my god. I don't want to go home.
Leia, like, okay, it's just like, huh? Who should I choose? Who should I choose? Leia, who's easy on the eyes, but Rachel, who's got that fat ass. It's like, pretty eyes or dump truck. Hmm.
Yes.
Jacob loved Rachel and said, "I will work for you for 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter." Laban said, "I'd rather give her to you than to another man. Stay with me." Jacob worked for Rachel for 7 years, but it seemed like a few days because he loved her. Jacob said to Laban, "The time has come. Give me my wife so that I may sleep with her." So Laban invited all the people of that place and prepared a banquet. However, in the evening, he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and he slept with her. Laban had given his servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah as her servant. In the morning, there she was, Leah. Jacob said to Laban, "What have you done to me? Didn't I work for you to have Rachel? Why did you betray me?" Laban said, "Where we live, we don't give the younger women before the oldest. Complete this celebratory week with this woman. Then I will give you this other woman for your work, if you work for me for 7 more years." So that is what Jacob did. He completed the celebratory week with this woman, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel as his wife. Laban had given his servant Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her servant. Jacob slept with Rachel, and he loved Rachel more than Leah, and he worked for Laban for 7 more years. Yikes.
As one does.
When the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was unable to have children. Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben because she said, "The Lord saw my harsh treatment, and now my husband will love me." She became pregnant again and gave birth to a son. She said, oh, the Lord heard that I was unloved, and so he gave me this son too." And she named him Simon. She became pregnant again and gave birth to a son. She said, "Now this time my husband will embrace me, since I have given birth to 3 sons for him." So she named him Levi. She became pregnant again and gave birth to a son. She said, "This time I will praise the Lord." So she named him Judah. This he's not stopped bearing children.
Homegirl just wants to bear some children. Chill out. Come on, Rach.
All right. We are now at chapter 30, and I am ending the stream. I am ending Bible study because my throat hurts, because I have been talking about the Bible for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I mean, the Bible's very tiring. I understand.
So yeah, I'm going to just I need to add in text to my transitions so that it says like "be right back" and "starting soon" and "ending soon." But I will do that later. I'll do that in a later time. Ugh. So anyway, that's the stream.
Blessed.
Blessed. Bible study over. Amen. Thank you, Slugger. I will see y'all possibly later tonight if I decide to stream something else. I don't know what, but something.